guitar friends! So it's been a long sweet ride with my Pedaltrain Nano Plus, but today's the day we upgrade. We're going to be trying to upgrade the Nano Plus to this Classic Junior. The only things I need: the Classic Junior board, some pedals, Velcro, cable ties, and my mitts. Okay, so once you've got your chosen power supply and you've put it on the board, next thing you do is Velcro the board. For me, I've chosen the CIOKS DC5, which has been mounted underneath the board and that's screwed on. You can see a separate video of how I did that. So once you've got your power supply on there, you put the Velcro on, and the next step is to choose where you want your pedals. The first problem I've had is that I want my wah on the board. Most people put it over here, which is fine. However, I use my wah on my left leg, so it means if it's here, I'm crossed over, and it just puts me off balance, and it's not really good when I'm singing. So I need to put my wah over here. Now, even though it's going to be the second in the chain after the tuner pedal, it needs to be over here. So we've got some longer leads and we're going to basically wire it over here. The next issue that people have when they're putting wah-wahs on boards is the feet. So what I have done is I've got some of these screws here from B&Q. These are 9.5mm screws, and they actually fit in these holes. So I'm going to take these feet off, just clip these screws on the end here, and it'll actually fit in and be flush to the bottom of the pedal. And then I think I'm going to cable tie them in. So I'm just going to start by taking the other feet off. Okay. Now what you need to do is get your trusty pliers, and you need to snip this end bit off. Will be a bit tight. Alright. So we have one shorter screw, so we're going to put that one in there. Of course, it always helps when you've got a screwdriver. Okay, so that one is in, and you can see it's pretty tight to the bottom of the pedal. I'm going to snip these ones. I'm sure you could buy shorter screws if you want, but these are the only ones I could find. The only problem with doing this is they could fly off. So be careful where they fly. Don't want to go in your eye or on the floor, and then your wife or when your kid steps on them. That's not good. There are a few things more painful than having a screw in the foot. There's basically two things more painful. One is standing on a plug, the most painful thing in the universe. And the next thing is when you've changed your strings and you step on a bit of string you've cut off. Tighten them all up. Okay. So that's the feet off the wah, so now that will sit happily, and it's not guided by where the feet are, so I can basically have this wherever I want. I'm probably going to have it about there. So I'm going to put the cable ties around the wah. We've put a couple of extra strong cable ties, and we're also going to cable tie it to the board. To do that, we need to turn the sucker over. Okay, so we're going to feed some cable ties through, and hopefully they're going to go underneath the other 2 cable ties that I've put on there. So the Velcro's on there, as you can see, but this is just going to give it extra stability because it is a heavy unit. And we're going to feed the other one through. Might be a bit tight, but they will go through. So that is going around the metal bar and around 2 extra strong cable ties that I've put around the wah wah that way. So it's almost locking it in place. Try and get these 2 in the same place to keep it neat and tidy if you can. Okay. Alright, now we get your snippers and just snip those ends, make sure they're as tight as they can go. Okay, so you can see here where I've put the cable ties around that way, and underneath the wah there it doesn't even touch it there, so there's a lot of clearance there. So we've got velcroed wah, and we have also got it cable tied to the board, so that's not moving, that's not going anywhere, that is stable as anything. Okay, now that's the biggest problem solved. We just need to get the other pedals on the board. We know the first pedal on the board is going to be the TU3, so make sure it's got enough room for clearance there. That's going to go somewhere like that. Okay, we know that the third pedal on the board is going to be the Dynacomp. So what we need to do is just feed this one through and connect it to the tuner. Okay, and this one goes to the Dynacomp. Okay, so we've got the Dynacomp on the board. Next up is going to be the Ibanez Mini Tube Screamer. I'm going to put the pedals in place and worry about power later on. Now I need that at the front of my board because I stomp on that pretty hard. Next up after that we have the OCD version 1.7. Go somewhere like that.
The bottom, beneath the overlooked unwanted pile of all the things that you haven't worn out for.
this is how the board finally worked out. After many variations, this is what I finally came up with. So we're starting off with the Boss TU3 chromatic tuner. From then it is fed underneath to the Wah pedal, which is second in the chain. You can see the video of how I did that. Then we're going into the Dynacomp, then it follows the chain to the Tube Screamer, OCD, the sub and up. From the sub and up we're going into the Phase 95, and then from there into the flashback. Obviously this is just recording audio. I've saved a bit of space here because I'm going to get a tap tempo switch for the for the flashback too, and that's going to go in there. So yes, that's how it finally wound up. Let me give you a few tones. So clean tone. So that just kind of smooths out the signal a bit, and gives me a bit of sustain on there for the... And then we've got the Tube Screamer. OCD. All three together. From there into the sub and up. Got a compression. Tons of fun. That's an awesome pedal. From there we've got the Phase 95. That's on the 45 setting. Let's go to the 95. Tons of fun. Then to the Flashback 2, which is on the tape setting. If we change to the tone print, got a polyoctave. And of course the wah is just the classic. And of course this thing is the Boss VE2 Vocal Harmonist. This is basically my setup for my funk band, and it needs some additional harmonies in there. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Gonna funk it up, gonna funk it down. So yes, there we go. The Pedaltrain Classic Junior with the CIOKS DC5 mounted underneath, powering everything. I am using one of the power outs from the Boss for the MXR. That's powered by the Boss. Okay guys, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Monk us out.